Before the final note fades and the confetti settles, stay with this story until the very end, because what happens in the last seconds will stay in your heart far longer than the applause. And if this story moves you even a little, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel so you never miss moments that remind us why dreams are worth chasing. The lights were already blinding when the doors opened, but no one noticed the quiet man stepping onto the stage. He didn't rush. He didn't wave. He simply took a breath, as if asking permission from his own fear to move forward. His name was Miguel Santos, a 28-year-old from a small coastal town in the Philippines, and he had traveled halfway across the world with one suitcase, a worn jacket, and a voice shaped by years of struggle. The audience clapped politely at first, unsure of what to expect. Simon leaned back in his chair, arms crossed, his face calm but unreadable. He had heard thousands of singers. Great ones. Terrible ones. Dreamers who broke and dreamers who surprised him. This young man, dressed in a simple black suit with a subtle Elvis-style collar, looked like he carried a story heavier than his smile. When asked why he was there, Miguel's voice trembled just slightly. He spoke about growing up singing to old cassette tapes his father played every night after long shifts as a jeepney driver. Elvis Presley was the soundtrack of their lives, songs echoing through thin walls while rain tapped on a rusted roof. When Miguel was 16, his father passed away suddenly, leaving behind debt, silence, and a dream unfinished. Singing became Miguel's way of keeping his father alive. He worked construction jobs by day, sang at weddings and small bars by night, and sent whatever money he could back home to support his mother and younger sister. "This stage," he said softly, "is bigger than my fear. And this song is for my father." The first note changed everything. It wasn't just the voice, it was the weight behind it. Rich, controlled, and hauntingly familiar, yet unmistakably his own. The audience leaned forward. Murmurs rippled across the theater. Simon's eyebrows lifted almost against his will. Miguel didn't imitate Elvis, he honored him. Every phrase carried respect, restraint, and raw emotion. When he reached the chorus, his voice cracked, not from weakness, but from truth. It was the sound of a son remembering bedtime songs and long bus rides home. The band faded slightly, letting his voice stand alone, and in that moment the room felt impossibly small. Halfway through the song, tears streamed down Miguel's face, but he didn't stop. He closed his eyes and sang as if his father was sitting in the front row. The crowd rose to their feet before the final note even landed. By the time the song ended, the applause exploded loud, unfiltered, unstoppable. Simon stood up slowly, shaking his head as if he couldn't quite believe what he'd just heard. "I don't say this often," he began, his voice unusually gentle, "but that wasn't just a performance. That was history being made." Miguel stood frozen, hands trembling, trying to process the moment. The judges praised his courage, his authenticity, his voice that bridged generations and cultures. Then something unexpected happened. Simon reached for the golden buzzer. The theater held its breath. "People try to copy legends," Simon said, eyes locked on Miguel. "You reminded us why they mattered." He slammed the buzzer. Gold rained down like a dream finally breaking free. Miguel dropped to his knees, overwhelmed, sobbing openly as the audience chanted his name. Somewhere back in his hometown, his mother watched through a flickering screen, hands over her mouth, whispering prayers of thanks. This wasn't just a win, it was validation for every night Miguel sang to empty rooms, every rejection, every doubt. Backstage, Miguel admitted he once almost gave up music after being told he'd never make it internationally because of his accent, his background, his lack of connections. But standing there, covered in gold, he realized something powerful: the world doesn't need perfection, it needs honesty. His journey wasn't over, but a door had opened that could never be closed again. As the episode ended, Simon watched Miguel walk off stage and quietly said to another judge, "That's why we do this." And in living rooms across the world, viewers felt it too, that reminder that talent can come from anywhere, that pain can turn into purpose, and that sometimes one song is enough to change everything. If this story touched your heart, imagine how many more lives like Miguel's are waiting to be heard. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and keep believing in the power of dreams, because the next voice that makes history could be just one note away.